Hello, welcome to the CLSR, and I'm your host and counselor. And today we're going to talk about real wealth part 4. Now, we've talked about some wonderful strategies. We've talked about couponing, real estate, the way you think about what you're doing each day, watching out for that propaganda machine, always trying to sell you something that you don't need, understanding that you can think for yourself, because a lot of you forgot how to think for yourself. You're letting everybody think for yourself, and they're charging you for this, and they're getting away with a killing. See, the more you pass your mental capacity over to somebody else for a fee, you forget how to think and you lose big time. Now, there are certain things that, yes, you have to hire people to do, but a lot of the things you can do yourself, right? Well, the more you think for yourself, the better off you are. Yes, it's great to get other people to do things for you, for sure, but only if you're going to profit from it. If you're not coming out on the other end, right, with a profit, then you're wasting your money. It's just gone. So think about it. There's too many of you not thinking for yourself. So that's where real wealth is. When you start to think, you start to snap out of it. Wake up. Wake out of that dream that they got us on. Right? They got us thinking certain ways where we can't wake up and see, hey, something right in front of us is going to make us some profit. What are we doing? We're throwing our livelihood away. I told you, a lot of the wealth that you have, you're giving away every month through bad habits and advertising and being marketed to, and that philosophy of you got to have it, and if you don't get it, it's gone and you miss out, so you got to grab it right away. So no, we got to have discipline, and we got to instill some patience, and we're going to sit back and actually think before we buy. Think about what we're doing. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to think. I mean, the last time we were talking about electricity, too many of you are buying things that are taking up electricity. You're not watching your bills. You don't even know how to read a meter. And that's the problem, too, right? These companies are getting slick. Even during this pandemic, these utilities companies are coming down hard. They're trying to fool you. Some of you will get these astronomical bills, and they'll give you some lies and some excuse. Oh, you owe us $1,000 in a water bill, and they're just like, what? I didn't use no water extra. Well, they're going through some hard times too. They got to pay people, so they're trying to scam you. But you don't know how to read a water meter, so what does it matter? They're always going to take advantage. You don't know the basics. Learn how to read a water meter or electrical meter. Then you can calculate yourself. Well, no. I calculate. I got the numbers right here. I can tell you how much you're charging. You know what I mean? And if it's been reduced from the government, I can tell you exactly what I should be paying. You should know exactly how to calculate these little things, and it's not hard. If you don't know how to calculate your water bill, go to the meter, go to YouTube, educate yourself on how to read a meter, how to read electrical meter, how to read a water meter, right? Those things are going to help you save some money in itself, right? Just think it for yourself, right? There's a lot you can learn just online, people. There's people out there doing small videos that help you, fixing basic parts to your car. Education, right? Get a home energy audit. This will allow you to find out how many dollars are seeping out of your home in the form of lost energy. You can perform your own energy audit if you're the industrious type, but don't hesitate to hire a professional to complete the audit for you. It should cost anywhere from 300 to 500, which isn't cheap, but it could help you save much more over time. Think of what's going to happen if you're losing a lot of money, if you got high bills. Get somebody in there to change it. That's the future. Alternative energy, energy saving, right? You got to be smart about it. All right. Now, there are some people who go as far as saving money by going hunting and foraging for food. Yes, I'm going to say it. We got to hit everybody. We're not, some of you got your eyes rolled right now. Hunting? That's crazy. I would never go hunting. But there are people out there who are serious hunters. You see those Bass Pro Shops, they're not there for no reason. Some people look at, okay, let me give an example. Okay, so approximately about a month ago, I called around to the butcher shops. And believe it or not, trying to get a whole cow or uh, a pig, just trying to buy it through some of these places, it's so expensive, you know. And I can understand why some people go hunting. Now, all of us can't, but for the ones who do want to take it up, But people got to realize that there are a lot of animals out there. They're getting slaughtered anyways, right? So, think about it. Some of you are going to these grocery stores. So let's say you don't want to go hunting. You know what I mean? You could go right to the farms and cut a deal and get a freezer and get that. Let's say because if you add up all the chickens, all the cows, pork chops and pigs and all these little things you're buying individually, you might have to up your game. You might have to go to an actual farm, or not just a butcher. You might have to find a farm and say, look, I need to get a pig. And you build a customer base so that when you have a freezer, okay, you can throw that meat in that freezer and it can last you a long time. You're not running for that expensive, because meat's getting more expensive. Some people say it's getting cheaper, but to me, the good stuff is getting more expensive. And if it is getting cheaper, you got to watch it. Okay, you got to watch that cheaper stuff, that 30% off, 40% off meat. Be careful with that. I know people want to save money, but don't save money to kill your health. You got to look at what you're buying. There are great deals out there. There's great stores out there. But see, the problem is you become conditioned to go to that store that you thought was cheap. What do I mean? I'm going to tell you what I mean. Think about the dollar store. All of us are conditioned to go to oh man, the dollar store is cheap. This is cheap. This is cheap. Wait a minute. The dollar store is cheap because it got cheap things in it. Yes, it's useful for many things, but why don't you take a look at a can of beans, right? Pasta. How much is it? Oh, $1.25. But then when you go to the real grocery stores, it's like 89 cents for that same can. So dollar store got you hooked because it says dollar. So there's great things in the dollar store. Don't get it twisted, but most of it's junk food, right? Or some plastic kitchen utensil that doesn't last longer than a month or so. So be weary of some of the places that you thought were cheap, like Food Basics and No Frills. Yes, you can save money on them, but be careful because there's certain things that they got you conditioned on. You get that cheap chicken, but then you're paying 3 times the price for the vegetables and the fruit. Be careful, you know. Get the good stuff. But, like I said, go to some of the Costco. But there are people who do go hunting, as I was mentioned earlier. You may need to invest in gear and permits, but if you already have these, this is an inexpensive way to get your own food. If you're ethically against the killing of animals, it's pretty easy to forage for food depending on where you live. Just make sure to forage only for food whose origins and properties you are sure of. Getting sick or poisoned is never any fun. Now, a lot of you in the city can't do this, but I'm talking about people all around the world, right? In different countries that don't have a Loblaws or Food Basics on the corner, right? Go deer hunting, duck hunting, turkey hunting, go fishing or fly fishing. Choose edible flowers, pick wild mushrooms, or forage for food in the fall. Start guerrilla gardening or build your own greenhouse. Some of you got those big lots but don't know what to do with them, but walk in them. Build a little garden for yourself. Get some real fruits and vegetables going. Even vegetables would be good, right? Wouldn't it be good to get your own vegetables? Just doing a little bit of work, get some seeds, get things started, control your environment, and think about saving money, okay? Saving pay yourself first. Too many of you don't know how to do that. You ain't did it, right? This means before you go and blow your paycheck on a new pair of shoes or a golf club you don't need, put money aside in an account that you don't touch. Do this every time you get paid and watch your account grow. Force savings. Yeah, they do it. Banks do it for you. So let's say you got a check going in. Watch this. You turn around and you tell them, look, every time I get paid, I want $100 going into this account. I don't care. It's funny money. I want it in a separate account. Can you please deposit into that separate account, even if it's a TFSA or a TFSA investment, which is a tax-free savings account, an investment account. Even if it's $50, every check. That's $100 a month for most of you. And some of you get paid every week. That's more than that. That's $200. So what I'm saying is most of you aren't paying yourselves. You ain't going to make money if you're not paying yourself. You're paying everybody else, but you're not paying yourself. And if you don't pay yourself, you got nothing. Nothing at all. And life insurance, you young people out there, especially if you're in your early 20s, get life insurance. Get whole life insurance. There's so many benefits to it. Some of you are like, life insurance? What am I going to do with some life insurance? Do a little bit of reading on life insurance. You're going to find out that you don't have to die to benefit from life insurance, but they teach you that. They teach you that, oh, you get life insurance. And some of you are like, life insurance? Why should I pay for it? I'm not going to give my money away. No, there's different policies. There's so many different types of life insurance out there. There's whole, there's term, there's dividend paying. Dividend means you can get money from your life insurance. Did you know you can do your own banking through a whole life insurance policy? Once you put in, you can do front end, loading it up where, you don't have to pay for the rest of your life. So let's say you get a policy for $500,000 and through the life of it, you got to pay $20 a month. But you could pay $40. So let's say instead of it being your whole life, you can pay $40 for the first 20 years, and then for the remainder of your life, you ain't got to pay nothing. You're just covered. And you could borrow off this. Like, there's so many ways to do it, people. Man, this counselor, I'm telling you right now, he could go on days and days on end about the benefits of learning basic things. I want people to learn about life insurance. And if you learn about certain life insurance, you can understand that when you borrow from some of it, you don't pay no interest, which is separate from the bank. But people don't know that. People aren't really understanding these certain things. There's so many ways that you can make money. You pay yourself first. And if you pay yourself first, instead of spending that money that you automatically take through forced savings off that account, instead of spending it on a case of beer, if you spend it on maybe some life insurance for a family member, that's what rich people do. I'm telling you what rich people are doing. I'm not telling you what poor people are. They're too emotional. Poor people. This is what I'm talking about. Poor people are so emotional. They're like, I'm not gonna get insurance on that person. You know what? They're gonna think wrong of me. Well, rich people do that. They insure everything, right? They're the ones that started doing it. We just started picking up on it years later. Think about house insurance and, jewelry and all the things that are covered, right? Think of that. Rich people started all that. They're smart. They know what they're talking about. They ain't worried about half those things. You want to break into half those rich people ain't paying for that house security. They want you to break in, take their stuff. They're paying for insurance. You break into their house, they're getting their money. They ain't holding their stuff in their houses. People, think about this. How many of you have home insurance and you're paying all this extra money because it's great, but you're paying all this extra money and you don't know why? It ain't never gonna get broken into. So you got all this insurance that you're paying for. Oh, I gotta do it. So you pay all this insurance for all these different reasons. No, you have to know what you're covered for. And some of you get no security systems, living in great neighborhoods, good neighborhoods, and you're just like paying you're paying 40, $50 a month. Well, I can sleep at night. Well, $50 a month in a year, that's like 600 something dollars. Well, you know what? The price of safety. Well, let me tell you the price of safety. You're blowing some of that money. Think about what you could do. You could get a self kit, where you don't have to pay. So getting it set up for sensors is different. Now you can get your own. You can go to Walmart, get a little kit where you set up in your house where alarm goes off, somebody comes through your door. You ain't paying monthly, but there's too many of you getting that ADT spending $60 a month. Somebody beat you upside your head. It's too late. ADT's asking you, are you okay over the phone? You're dead. Or you're sitting in the corner half crippled. Somebody's on their way, but it's too late. What you need to do is be smart. Are you blowing your money? Where's your money going? And I don't want people to stop doing their security and then something happened to them, but I need you to think, get some security, but are you paying out a lot every month? Well, $50 is nothing. Well, just make sure that money's coming back somehow. Don't just give it out, right? If you're living in good neighborhoods, bad neighborhoods, think about it, right? How long have you been paying for some of this stuff every month? And how many of you are locked into these big satellite companies, these Bell Canada and these AT&T? They're charging you $100 for all these different programs. Well, you're so conditioned that you're spending all this money every year. Oh, I got great programs. Well, there's all kinds of competition out there. And you know what? If I'm gonna save $500-600 a year just for switching to somebody, I'm gonna do it. There's all kinds of alternatives. Maybe you don't want to get the whole package of TV to internet. Get the basics. Get your good TV and your basic internet, or get the good internet and get an alternative magic box or something. Get something else on there. Change it up. Don't do anything for too long period of time. You will be surprised. I'm gonna give an example. So right now, okay, as I mentioned earlier in one of my podcasts, things have changed. So you got to look at it. Let's say if you have a mortgage right now and you're locked into 3.2%, and you got like 4 years left. You got to think about that. You're at 4.2%, but then the interest rate dropped down to 1.5%, and you're still locked in. And some of you are afraid. You're like, "Oh my God, I don't want to pay that $10,000 penalty fee." Well, do the math. Over those 4, you might save that money in a year. After the first year, there goes that penalty fee. But those years after, when you're on that 1.5%, you're saving thousands, 10,000 every year for the next 4 years, or right? Think about it. People don't change. They get caught into being conditioned, and you got to snap out of it. Pay yourself first. Understand what you're giving it. What the banks ain't going to tell you. If you're paying the bank 3.5% on the mortgage, they're not going to tell you, "Hey, you know what? We got a cheaper rate. We want you to get this." And it makes sense if you break your mortgage and you know what? You save thousands. Well, how's that going to benefit them? They're not out there. They're only out there to make money. They're only out there to make money for themselves. They're not there to make money for you. You got to do your work, right? You got to look at, hey, every once in a while, you got to check in. What's the competition saying? "Oh, I've been at CIBC or Scotiabank for 25 years. Yeah, too bad. So you've been conditioned for 25 years. But then you go over here to HSBC and you see, hey, wait, their percentage is not even a third. And they want my business, and they're willing to make it happen. Why am I sitting with these people for 25 years and they ain't doing nothing for me? When I need some extra money, they don't want to give it to me. "Oh, you don't qualify." And wow, oh, so you got comfortable with my money. You got real comfortable with my money. Now, see, some of these institutions forget about customer service because they have the needs of the people. People need them. They ain't fighting, but these smaller institutions, some of these up and coming credit companies, go to them, talk to them. As long as they're government backed, go to them, talk to them. Say, "Hey, listen, I got this CIBC thing, this major bank. Well, I can offer you this." Well, as long as they're government backed, hey, you're going to give me a deal, I'm going to go that way. I'm tired of being played. I'm going to wake up. And if those big institutions are offering you something, great. But don't keep buying all these. Watch your service charges, people. Watch your service charges. Okay, be careful. And this is a thing too when you become complacent. Some of you are paying that monthly that fee, and you walk away. When they talk about those service charge fee, this is what I'm going to tell you. This is what I'm going to tell you for real. When you have a monthly fee, when you get all these service charges using your debit card, using your card online, and also some of you go, "Oh, you know what? I'd rather pay a $15 a month service fee." Well, that's great, but don't just walk away thinking that they're applying it. They're sneaky. Go back and take a look at your account details every once in a while and say, "Wait, why am I receiving this service charge for?" I could tell you a million times where this happened, where I'm like, "Wait a minute, I pay $15 a month. Why do I got a $3 charge here? Why do I got a $4 charge here? And where's this $2 charge come?" Then I go back to the bank and I say, "Hey, where's all these charges come from? I pay my..." "Oh, you do? Oh, we apologize. That was our mistake. You've been getting away with that for months, and now all of a sudden you're gonna make the change." That's all they do is they say sorry. But they took your money. They ain't giving you anything back. They're apologizing. If you don't keep your eyes on your fries, no one will. You got to stop being complacent, people. You got to start thinking for yourself. Check on your money. Pay yourself first and check on your money every once in a while. Okay? It really makes a difference. Okay? And check this out. Some of you have been in homes and they're worth a lot of money, but you're sitting on it. You're sitting on these houses, hoping to get rich. Oh, my house is worth money. Well, if your house is worth money, the house beside you is worth just as much money. Doesn't make sense you sitting on that money for 20 years to buy a house that's just as expensive. You ain't going to have nothing in the end anyway because houses are going up. So is property tax. So downgrade your car and a house if you need to. Could you make do with an apartment instead of a house? Like, let's say if your house is worth 500,000, right? And you got it mostly paid off. Let's say you got $200,000 left on your mortgage. Well, sell that house and get your 300,000 and put in like a permanent investment. You know what I mean? Or take that money, split it up, and invest it in something else. Or put it back in real estate. Or don't even sell it. Take the equity out and invest in something else. Don't just sit on it. Okay? Think about that. Could you make do with that? Something less to take that money and use it. Put it to work. Put that money to work. Right? Could you buy a used car instead of a new one and use it more sparingly? There are all ways to save a ton of money every month. Some of you are paying $500-$600 a payment. Oh, I got this new car. I'm paying $500-$600. Then you got to pay $400 or $500 in insurance. Next thing you know, you're paying $1,100, and you wonder why you're in debt all the time. It's because you're blowing your cash flow. Right? You're living beyond your means. And don't tell me I'm living beyond my means. I don't want to hear it. Well, the truth is you are, but nobody's going to stop you because you're used to that new car. Oh, I can't look like I got a used car out there. Sometimes you got to. If you're going to pay yourself first and benefit in the end. And you can live good if you look at things every once in a while. Sometimes you're going to have to cut expenses. Look at the ways you spend your money carelessly. Like, avoid going to Starbucks every morning. That's $4 you spend on the designer coffee every morning. Comes out to $28 per week or $1,460 over the course of a year. Yes, you heard me. $1,460 over the course of a year. Yeah, you didn't think that, but now you're thinking, well, what could I do with that $1,500 around Christmas or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah, or whatever. The point is you could have some extra dough in your pocket, but you're blowing it every day. Oh, I got to have my coffee. I see some of you people blowing that money. Just once in a while, try to, you know what I mean? You can even buy half that stuff now in the supermarkets. You can. You can prepare that stuff every morning yourself before you walk out that door. Get yourself a container. Still going to be just as good. They're selling it in the supermarkets now. Half that coffee that you buy out there. But it is good to treat yourself once in a while. But just make sure you're paying yourself first. You got to do that. Track down your expenses. To soar your efficiency on cutting your expenses, it is vital to keep track of them. Pick one of the numerous expense tracking applications there are around, like Money Lover or Mint, and record every single penny that goes in and out of your wallet. After 3 months or so, you should be able to know where most of your money goes and what you could do with what you find, right? That's what you can do. Track your money. Watch where it's going. Spend your tax refund wisely. When you people get your money back, what are you doing with it? Right? Think about it. Like the average person in 2007, even in North America, the refund was around $2,600. Right? And that's pretty good money for a lot of people to have it one in their pocket. Can you use that money to pay off debts or create an emergency fund instead of blowing it on something that will lose half its value the second you buy it? If you invest nearly $3,000 wisely, it could be worth 10 times that much in as many years. And it's true. Compound interest is underestimated. People don't understand. Take that little bit and keep putting it to work. Break up with your credit cards. Especially most of you. Now, there's people out there that know how to use credit cards. And they're smart. They understand the real benefits of it. And that's the new way. And they do it for business. But if you're just one of those ones that's just using credit cards to purchase things, be careful because you're going to get tricked. You don't even know what you're doing. They're taking advantage of you. And those bills, if you don't understand. So let me give you a rule when it comes to credit cards. Okay. When it comes to credit cards, I want you to do this. Whenever you get a card, so let's say it's a limit of $1,000. If you want to keep your credit good, you have to do this. So you take that $1,000 and you divide it by 3, and you never go over that amount ever. So what is it? $333. So you can spend all you want as long as you're paying off your minimums every month, but you can never go over $333 if you want to keep that A1 credit. Too many of you are jumping in there getting that $1,000 limit, for example, and you're spending up to $800-900. That's why your credit goes bad, because you don't understand the formula. These formulas rich people understand. So they know what to do with it. They know how to get cash out of these credit cards and turn it into profit. But if you don't know how to do these things, don't mess with a credit card. The average Joe is going to mess with a credit card, and because you got a credit card, you think, oh, you know what? I need it to go to a hotel, or I needed to do this. Be careful, okay, what you do. Like, I mean, there are ways you can get hotels through points and benefits through a number of credit cards. However, be careful. Watch out for the reward system. Sometimes it works, but often it's a scam and it's not worth it. Oh, you spend thousands of dollars at the liquor store to save $100. Like, that's a scam. Okay, but you got to break up with your credit card, especially if you don't know what you're doing. Did you know that people who use credit cards for purchases end up spending more money than people who use cash? That's because parting with cash is painful. When you have cash in your hand, you don't want to give it up. Using a credit card doesn't carry that much of a sting if you can divorce your credit card and see how it feels to pay with cash. You'll probably end up saving a boatload of money. If you do maintain a credit card, do things to reduce expenses. Try to pay off the full balance each month and on time. That results in interest-free credit. At the very least, make monthly minimum payments before the due date to avoid a late fee. I told you about the formula. Apply it. It works. Going mortgage free. Reduce your home mortgage if you can. Now, you know mortgage means for life. So this is a priority, reducing your mortgage. It is. However, that is questionable in certain situations. I do strongly believe in reducing mortgages. However, it's really based on what's going on. Like, if you have a mortgage and you have a lot of equity and you could be investing for your future, then do it. Because if you want to stay in the house, believe me, you can do locked in investments, guaranteed investments that get compound interest. And it doesn't need to be just in your country. There's other countries out there that have great interest going on, and you have to look into it. But I would say, if you have to, refinance to a lower rate or to a 15-year loan instead of a 30-year loan. This way you only pay a few extra $100 per month, but you will save yourself much more than that in interest. Like, if you have a $200,000 mortgage on a 30-year loan, this will cost you another $186,500 in interest payments. So you're actually paying a total of $386,500 over the course of 30 years. On the other hand, if you're willing to pay a few extra $100 a month, like $350, by refinancing to a 15-year loan, usually at a lower interest rate, you could pay your mortgage off in 15 years. And the best part is, you will save yourself a whopping $123,700 in interest. That's money in your pocket. Talk to a loan officer about your options. See, some of you don't even talk to people about that because they tell you at the bank, oh, we offer a 25-year amortization, or they might offer you a 30-year amortization. Well, how many banks tell you about a 15-year amortization? Not too many, because they don't want you to pay that loan off early. Some of you don't even, what? What do you mean a 15-year loan? What? That's crazy. Well, with these 1%, 1.5% over the couple years, find yourself an institution, because if you're paying 3.5%, 4% for that same amount of money, you can lock into a 1.5% for 15 years, and you're going to be like, yo, paying the same amount of money that you're doing now, and you're going to have that mortgage paid off faster, which is going to benefit you. There's so many ways that you can do it, but often we get locked in because we only think we have certain options. There are a number of options out there. There's a lot of competition for your money. Are you looking into it? You could do some real damage if you understand, and damage I mean good way, to your finances, in the sense that you can make money for yourself if you start to understand there's competitors out there willing to work with you. So you got to look at that. And it's okay if you have an accountant and you sit down with them and you say, look, what's my best option? And start thinking. You don't have to pay anybody. Sometimes you could just sit down with them. You know what? Especially if they're doing your taxes, which most of you can do your own. But if you do have an account, sit down with them. Don't just talk about taxes. Say, hey, this is what I'm considering doing. Use them the best way that you can. You have questions, call them. They want to be your tax person. So even when it's not tax season, give your tax person a call. Hi, I got a question. Right? Get the information. Every once in a while, go online to the Revenue Canada. Look up the tax. What can I claim? What can I do? Why is this coming out? Why do I owe this much? Why did I get this much? You can do a little bit of work yourself and understand basic things. And you know what? Because it should be designed for the average Joe. Okay? But if you do get a tax person, ask them questions on many different subjects. Okay? An accountant. You know what I mean? They're going to help you. If they want your business, make people work for it. If you go to a bank, say, hey, where can I save money? I feel like I can save money. You got any promotions going on? Every once in a while. Well, we have this because they're always trying to get people's money. Find out. Go to the competitors, right? What are they offering? Don't just sit on a hill by yourself. Do a little bit of work for your money, all right? Well, you know what? We've talked about some good things on Real Wealth Part 4. And of course, we could keep on going, but I gave you some good things to think about. And if anything, I want you to start opening up your mind, okay? And stop being complacent and conditioned. And watch out for that propaganda machine that's trying to get you to go, 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 go. And if you don't buy it in this period of time, and you're going to lose out. No, no, no. And sometimes cut out the middleman or middlewoman. What do I mean by that? I mean, some of these grocery stores that you go into, you can go to the big box stores. You can go to the farm and get some real vegetables in bulk. You know what I mean? If you need it. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, start cutting out some of these stores that, want to charge you all these different fees. A lot of people go to these places because they're conditioned. Start realizing, what are you putting out there and what are you really getting back? If all your money that you make is going out the window every month and your account's always in the negative, you're doing something wrong. I just said it. If all your money is going out there and you don't have anything at the end of the month and you just keep having to refinance, or you're doing something wrong, you need to stop. Okay, you need to look at yourself. Are you paying yourself first? Where are you going to be in 10 years if you keep doing the same old thing that you're doing now? Where? Because it's not hard math. I'm making this, and this is what I'm... At the end of the year, I ain't got nothing. Well, that's what everybody does. No, not everybody's doing that. If you are paying all your money to your kids and your kids ain't doing that, stop it. If they're done, no, stop it. Say, you know what? You can work. You can get out there and get yours. I got to do mine. I got to pay my bill. We all want to take care of our kids, but when they're not kids, have those expectations, right? Too many people are putting out, not getting it, taking care of themselves, but they expect to be taken care of. Think about the pension money that you're waiting for. Too many of you waiting for that pension money. You are. And then you wonder, oh, I got $400,000 in pension coming to me. Well, you'll be dead by the time you get half that, because they only pay you out a certain amount every month. And you get taxed on half of that. A lot of people don't know that. They're like, what? Yeah, you get a payment for the rest of your life, but you're only going to live a certain way. You ain't going to be able to do much with it. So you got to think now, especially if you're young. I'm going to tell you young people something right now. You got something that a billionaire don't have, and that's called time. And if you could put $50 a month, let's say right now, okay? Let's say you don't need no big ideas. You don't know what to do. I'm going to tell you what to do. If you start even a minimum wage job, you open up a tax-free saving account. And every time you get paid, you get $50 going. I don't care where you're working at, Wendy's, McDonald's, KFC, whatever, Taco Bell. You get $50 and you never stray from this strategy. You take $50 every paycheck and you put it in a tax-free saving account. All right? And you put it into a stock, a guaranteed stock. Okay, don't worry about the ups and downs of the market and which stock's the best. Put it in the guaranteed stock and you let it compound. And you just put that strategy so it just happens in your account. That's $50. You can live without it easily. Try that for a year and see what happens. This $50, you forget about it. It's automatically going in there. You forget about it. And if you really want to forget about it, because I did this, and what happened is I put a certain amount of money, not a lot of money, but I put a little bit of money in one account, and then I had it going directly into this bank account. All right. And it was depositing, like I said, into this tax-free saving account. And believe me, it added up. And then I actually went and opened up another account so I didn't have to watch that one so much. Okay. And I had this money going into this account. And it was depositing into this tax-free saving, and the compound interest kept growing. And I didn't touch it because a lot of you get tempted to touch it. You see $1,000, you go, oh my God, it's $1,000. I'm going to use that at Christmas. Don't touch it. You keep letting it go. Compound interest. And if you want a basic book, read One Grain of Rice and you'll get the picture. Pay yourself first. Okay, a lot of you young people have money, but you don't know what to do with it. Compound interest. Pay yourself first. Stop worrying about it. Look at it if you want to see something right now. Look at the companies that are going to be here in 100 years or 50 years. There's ones that are going to be here. They ain't going nowhere. It's not hard to figure that out. Put your money in like a Walmart. You know what I mean? Put your money in things like that. People always going to have to go to places. They've been around forever. Buy that stock. Let it sit. I just gave you a quick tip, you know? And a lot of you go, oh, that stock's $100. Well, you can buy shares. You know, you don't have to buy the stock complete. There's companies out there that you can buy a portion of that share. So if it's $100, you can let it, keep building until you get it, or buy a portion of that share. There's all kinds of ways. But get started. And you don't need to spend brokerage fees and all this in and out. No. You know what I mean? Just invest. Go to your bank. Get in an investment tax-free saving account. And keep putting money in. You'd be surprised if you start paying yourself first. And also put cash in your hand. You'll see if you wanted to build. Keep doing that. Keep paying yourself first. Right? Take that money and put it away. Put it away. Put it away. And I could say, get a safety deposit box. If you can do that, where you pay a little fee every year, get a safety deposit box, and they say, oh, you're not allowed to put cash in it. Did you know that's so funny that banks tell you that the rule is when you have a safety deposit box, don't put cash in it? They do that. Why? Because they know it's going to build. Well, you're not allowed to put cash. I just want to let you know. And a lot of people go, I can put what I want in. Yes, you can. But don't ever tell the banks if you have a safety deposit box that you're going to put cash in there. Because they won't like it. They'll go, oh, no, don't do that. Why? Because you'll keep building and building and building. Forget even the interest. Try it. Watch what happens. Take $100, open up a safety deposit box in a bank. I don't care what people say. You ever hear people, you ever hear the older people who save money under their mattress and it keeps building? It does, believe it or not. People go, oh, no, it won't. It will, because you will spend it otherwise. So take that $100, put it in a safety deposit box, and every check, go and pay, before you walk out, go and pay into that safety deposit. Put another $100. Every month even. And then at the end of the year, watch what happens. You pay your safety deposit box, and you still got $1,100 there. And it goes, shit, I wouldn't have saved that any other way. I wouldn't have had that money any other way if I didn't discipline myself. Oh, I didn't make a 10%, 20%. No, put the money away. Don't get fooled by what people say. Put it away. Pay yourself first. It's these little things that you do. that matter. It's the little things. Forget the big get rich schemes. We're giving away our wealth. And if you're in the negative, you're not doing it right. So I want to say to my people, think for yourself, do the little things. Stop worrying about all the big things. Do simple things. Pay yourself first. People say, "Oh, you'll make money." Because once you start seeing how you can make a little bit money, you start learning how to make big money. Then you start opening your eyes and realize that, hey, I can do this. I can make money for myself. I can put people to work. I can pay people to do certain things for me. I have a good job. You know, it could be better, but can I put other people to work to make money for me? Right? Or can I invest in this little apartment? I don't have to buy the apartment. Can I rent it out under my name? And then have somebody rent out 2 rooms in it, whatever. That take care of business. Whatever, you're going to do it. You will learn how to do it. Stop trying to put all your money in waiting and waiting and waiting. Start learning how to do the basics. Anyways, I want to say thank you to my listeners. And I want you to be like the wise old bird and spread the word. Because real wealth, you have it. You're giving it away, half of it. All right? You don't need to, but you're doing it. But I want you to take care of yourself and just think about certain things that you're doing. And money matters. People who tell you money don't matter don't have any. It does matter. All right? It matters. And it doesn't have to be evil, but it matters. Okay? Money matters, and matters in a lot of different ways. Does it matter more than your morals? No, but it does matter. It's vitally important. You could do good things with money. If you have, you could feel better, less stress. Think about your health, right? If you're always stressing about a credit card bill that's coming in, you're not living a good life. You ain't gonna be around. So you got to control yourself. Get rid of the credit card if it's not working for you. That's not only gonna save you money, it's gonna make your health increase, right? Because without your health, you got no wealth. All right. So if you're stressing your money over the bills or the money you're not making, learn how to take care of yourself. Watch your money. Learn to earn a little bit more by doing simple things. We're living in North America. In North America, people want things done for money. They do. Right? You don't got to spend years in school to do it. I'll tell you right now, you don't. Even in the trades, you don't. Woman, man, there's women out there doing trades now because they ain't stupid, they're smart. There's young people out there, young boys out there that they gawk at the trades. They laugh at the trades. They're like, I don't want to do that. I don't feel like it. And they want to sit on the couch and think they're smart on the computer for 15 hours. There's young ladies out there, transgender, whatever gender out there, people out there that are going, I'll take a trade. I'll drive a truck. I'll learn about basic plumbing. If I can take a toilet out for $400 and only cost me $150, I'm making a profit. I can do the math. Forget the foolishness. You can do little things. And it only took me $150 to learn how to do that in a little trade course, or $200. I'm making a hand over fist. Working my job, I'm happy, and every once in a while I want to do a little bit of something. Handy person, right? Fixing myself, right? Simple things, right? But there are people out there who are too proud. So to me, we got to change your mindset. Do little things. Now, you can't do everything yourself, but there's a lot you can do. And you don't need to spend years in school. Even giving financial advice. Take a little course. Help people with their finances. Because there's a lot of people who are having financial problems. And it's not because it's a big complex formula. It's because they lack discipline and not basic understanding. And you can give that to them if you take a little course. You don't have to be an accountant for 50 years. You take a little course on a weekend. You know what I mean? Learn about basic finances. You can look at people. What's the problem? Well, here. Simple. A plus B equals C. Here, this is what you make, A. B, this is what you're spending, and C, and this is why you ain't got no money. Because you are spending more than you make. So here, let's take a look at what you're spending. Blah, blah, blah. You give them the list. Next thing you know, you sit down with them, you show them where they're blowing money. And then when you show them how to even balance their money, they're going to feel good, and you got yourself a skill, a transferable skill. Hi, I'm a financier. I help you with your finances. And people who you help with their finances, you're going to not only make them feel good, word's going to get out. Word's going to get out. This is another thing I want to tell you about titles. Last thing I want to tell you about is titles. People are caught up in the titles. Now, there's certain titles, yes. If you're a doctor, you don't want to go out there pretending you're a doctor. Cutting people up or saying, no, no. I'm talking about a lot of the titles out there we're caught up in. And we can learn certain things without spending years and years and years in school. Okay, yes, you have to have certain credentials, but come on, people. All right? There's certain titles that we're subscribing to that aren't nothing but titles. You have to be able to be flexible and be able to move from job to job. The environments change. You got to have certain transferable skills, right? Like if you like to do something, hey, do it. Share it. Teach it. You understand? You can make money by charging people for your service and your basic advice. So be the best that you can be, and you know what? Enjoy your life. But if you're too stressed out over your finances, then you're doing something wrong. You're not supposed to be. You got to get up and change. You got to do something different. That's all I got to say. All right, so take care of yourself, people, and be like the wise old bird and spread the word.